Certainly do think it is going to be a smaller market next year. That is unquestionable. I think carriers, honestly, the last couple of years, they've been able to use what I've just called the field of dreams strategy, where if you put a plan out there, there's so much money, there's so much federal subsidy flowing into there that you will get enrollment. And plans were, fairly successful financially from that. But I think the challenge was, and I think this is a challenge for members in particular, and some of my critiques during the Biden administration that I shared were around the way that they set up the regulatory framework was, enrollment was the goal. And so removing any kind of barriers to enrollment, and I think particularly the 150% FPL perpetual SEP, which in non-Medicaid expansion markets, that's half your population, can enroll at any time and disenroll at any time. I think that meant that the carriers who were most successful were ones who had narrow networks and who were really trying to attract the price-sensitive members who didn't have significant health conditions. And so because if you were a carrier who was offering a PPO or offering a broad network, well, you were hugely exposed by the fact that smart providers, frankly, and I saw this firsthand, we would see people who were just about to get a transplant and would suddenly switch from a plan that was paying the provider less to a plan that was paying the provider a lot more. And suddenly, and then, midway through the year that happens, and then they disenroll and switch to the cheaper plan once the provider gotten their cash. I think this actually opens some opportunities for plans to be thinking about, well, if the price-sensitive members are going to go away, or at least be reduced, who are the people who are definitely going to stick around? Whether they're still, the lower-income members for whom, as long as CSR remains defunded, there's still a very high value proposition because of the nature of price-linked subsidies that are there's still going to be a decent amount of price-sensitive consumers. But then there's also going to be the consumers who really access healthcare.